Thanks for using Gift of Arthas, bro. Oh, I'm happy now. Always, dude. That's the right answer. Listen, guys, are we starting, or you want to do Ubers or not? Look at that shit. You can drink when you're dead. Alright, then the Warlock and the Druid should just be spamming fucking Fairy Fire and Wreck and checking for resists and then fucking keeping it up and just putting it on everything. And you guys are not expected to do any damage or healing, and that was my intention. And that the Druid can just do like cool heals and like uses cool buttons. I'm dead ass. And then like if you could use your Stampede to make sure Group 2 doesn't die, like literally that's it. We're not even using it for the tank. Don't need it. It's just more melee damage. Low. Is that okay? Can we try that?
Down.
Sick. Yeah. What an obliteration. Yeah, we didn't even have the top pumpers for melee. We just like casually auto swung that guy down. Like it was cooldowns. I didn't blow cooldowns there. He got smoked.
Does anyone need those shoulders?
Like, get back into your correct position. Don't tunnel vision. What the hell? Oh, Posm, are you using your Shazam Wham Llama right now, or nah? Is it more of a shield thing?
Well, yeah.
Right, you're using it?
But
Yeah, and Jackal's, I think he's tanking too, and he's Shazamming. Are we all Shazamming?
he's practiced one of the smaller ones. I think the stat one is the most common.
Oh, I'm just asking. Oh, fuck, dude. Hey, dude. Here, help him out. This is crazy.
Still recharging.
Yeah, I thought we were pulling back, my bad.
No. Yeah, sorry.
Move up. Good. Get that weird recipe on the wall if you want to be cool. Perry's the main tank if you want to make him use the last pair of underwear. Mega pull on the left, maybe, if we're lucky. Yeah. Shazam! Dude. Yeah, no, that Shazam haste matters, dude. That just like, just add 400 more DPS. Random haste proc. It's so good, it gives me more energy too. Melt. Hell yeah. And the orcs. That's great, thank you guys. We fucked it up. It's like, it makes such a difference. I think they only got like fucking 1k armor anyway, the ones in the dresses, so that, we just obliterate them. It's like 30% more damage because you push that button, and then we one-shot them instead of get them to 50%. Bum 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 bum. Bring it back to me. To the melee cleave. Thank you. Boom. Dudes, we gotta get you a Shazam blade. You just go straight melee.
We're showing
throw the wolf in there. You come in melee. You start...
for some reason.
Yeah, I'm in combat too.
Bro, I saw him hitting rats the whole day. Let's just go. It'll fix itself. Dude, yeah, I saw his rat demo shot a couple times. I thought it was cute. It's probably that still. If we get away, it's fine.
I can't cast that yet.
Okay. Up a Black Rock Spire. Bum 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 bum.
Nobody's gambling today? Everybody's broke?
Yep.
We'll gamble. How much do you want to gamble?
Hearthing. I'm getting a buff. Blessing of Saran. Wait, that's mana too? What the
Mana
fuck,
and
guys? Guys. If we all do it. Look, it's 100 MP5 in group fucking 1 right now. Dude.
We never
Where
have
do
to
you get that
stop.
buff?
Bro, Opossum has mana as a fucking tank paladin for the first time in his life. Because he's using Shiramis Lama. That's the key, bud. Two-hand slam
Plus
tank.
100 all stats.
Bro, you're pumping right now. Look, you're beating me on the damage, dude. I was half AFK admiring you with my scroll wheel, and you just pumped it. Honestly, look at your damn. You go all spell power and you grab your conk up, and you're like, damn, dude, I hope my conk is big one day. And then you just look accidental and press C and check your AP real quick. AP check. It's like, oh, fuck. And then look at your melee damage. It's like half your damage. Bro, it's not Shazammer. I let you guys attack it a little longer. That's what I was doing. So that you could enjoy. See, Jackal's got gift on. Good. Bro, we're fucking cleaving this shit.
Time to put the blade away.
Alright, dude. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Gotta do
one for the team.
Dalrens against Ren, dude. Isn't that a little insensitive? Dalrens. I'm just kidding. Alright, do you need to get out of combat?
Not me. Is that only melee crit or spell crit too?
Shut up. It's 4 stats. It's melee crit, spell hit, and regular hit. And it's 100%. It's not guaranteed. It's just plus 100 to all 4 of those stat values.
So you're saying it could be a caster weapon?
Ooh.
Pulse trigger. No.
Wow.
Sucks.
Can I need for my prod set? Shoulders?
Yeah, I don't need
Let's go.
it. We got
That spares.
Holy fuck. It's a lot of agility. No assassin yet. Did we get the extra assassin? Did anyone notice?
not yet.
There's one, and then yeah, we need the extra.
The extra one spawns after the hound, right? Or is that separate?
That's another one.
You're hilarious, Jeezy.
Then who's playing? What the fuck?
That's hilarious.
It's so stupid. Just like I didn't think it through. It's just Blaze talk.
No doubt.
Here we go. Sapper, bruh. Get on the meter. We're checking meters.
Checking your millimeter, Peter.
My damage is waning. Is there an assassin that's gonna spawn and fuck up our healer? Use
It's
yeah,
after it's after the hound.
No,
Pretty
there's
sure.
one more in here. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the hound one. I'm talking about the.
Oh, okay.
There's one down here. What the? Just be on your guard.
Yeah, we just got two with that pack, so I think we just got.
Should be good. Do we know who's kiting in this group? It's probably written.
It's gonna be me or the hunter.
Okay.
For the hunter's life over mine, but if I got to, I will.
Stun, disarm, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, we got the middle. Hunter pep.
Oh damn, big hole, fuck. Dummy if you can. Watch out behind you for one-shotting assassins. We still have them.
That's still charging.
Pretty sure we got the second assassin.
Yeah, we must have. spawning beast assassin. It'll take quite a while.
Alright, can we get a trap on Square and Hunter Pet on Triangle? Sheep Moon, Possum X, Jackal, Square, Pencil.
I can sheep moon.
Or you could hibernate, that's a great idea. Yeah, hibernate Triangle.
I don't think hibernate works on the big ones.
Okay, then non X. Then a Possum pickup Triangle.
Right.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Clean.
Or lay a trap down by the.
4 Orcsmen, go for it. Bring it back. What the fuck is that pet? Sandu's? Get him out of here, dude. What the? Go get a wolf. Come on, dudes.
Yeah, you need a wolf.
A wolf, dude. Don't you know about wolves? Here, go get the hidden assassin I spawned 3 minutes ago, or whatever the fuck. Go send Hakar and Sons.
My car and sons.
Hakar and Sons is like a LLC. Limited liability.
Sounds like a Maester raid.
Yeah. Boom. And there's the assassin. And there it is. After you gotta give up. You gotta be like, ah, where the fuck is he? Then he'll be there.
There he is.
That was so cool.
GFPP.
Found the trash in the next box. Max range to avoid blast wave and fear. Continuously reposition. Don't pull thread. Let's go.
Holy shit,
You
dude.
get Sandos to get hunted. Alright, you can pull him back.
I need to get closer. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. I'm out of range. That spell isn't ready yet.
Let's kill it.
Just waiting on cost.
Our
Is he
priest
back?
is in the beast room for some reason.
You said
Oh.
BRB.
Oh yeah,
That's what I was waiting on.
yeah, good wait. Yeah, good call, cause yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, we'll just wait for him to come back. Yeah. Then we want to get
Alright, here we go.
He's back. Oh.
Too far away.
Incoming.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
One more pack.
Oh. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do one more Ubers after this, and then I have a replacement Pally already. So I don't know if anyone's gonna even drop, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I've got it.
I'll probably drop, unfortunately.
Nah, you're not. No Pallies are allowed to drop. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, whoever's gotta go. Yeah, assuming we don't wipe here, it's been good. I'm just trying to figure out if we're doing how we're doing it.
Now you're clear.
Wait, melee use Fabs if you like that. Pretty weird. And I think we said we're gonna use the mage unless Dews thinks he's cooler than the mage. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm to step up and be cooler than me. Alright, how I do this again?
So you just pull them across the bridge with like frost bolts, and then once
Don't
you're
forget
kind of like
counterspell, yeah.
in Hound's room or so, you can ice block and it'll drop threat, and you just walk back.
Yeah, try not to get too close to him, or sometimes he comes back to you if you get like close after you do the send back. But yeah, you can lips and double block, so it's 26 seconds. Or block.
I don't think you'll leave any that much with this DPS. It'll be like, yeah, just one block should probably be good, but
Yeah, we
say
need
the other one
10
in
seconds,
reverse.
Yeah.
Alright, so big ice block. I mean, big ice and small, right?
Yeah, we're almost ready for block. You haven't even pulled it yet.
And
No,
then
I'm
when he
talking
comes
about
back,
crossbow. Y'all ready?
Oh, wait,
When- wait,
we need
when he-
we need
when
everyone
I'm-
here.
when he comes back, we'll try to get him with a target dummy, and then a possum will pick up the first threat. Try to chase threat. All right.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No threat?
He's far from me to counterspell. Counterspell anyways.
I'm gone white.
You got
GZ,
that, you got-
get away from GZ.
I can't
Heal
cast
GZ.
that yet. Let's still be charging.
Heal GZ.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Okay, heal the tank.
All right, you can send him back.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
coming
you're basically
back.
good to come back whenever.
Yeah, I'm just waiting a little bit.
Yeah, they're dead.
Okay, I don't see him no more.
I
I'm
can't
fighting
cast
from the
that
bridge.
yet.
Alright, don't be second on threat. Taunt up to the possum threat if you want, doesn't matter. Yeah, don't be second on threat and pump. I'm second on threat. Nice.
Let's still be charging. I can't cast that yet.
Alright, heal Jackal.
Let's still be charging.
Please, Turban.
Good job.
That
Heal
spell
Jackal,
isn't
Jackal,
ready
Jackal,
yet.
Jackal, Jackal, Jackal. Oh, Titans, everyone will
Can't
need,
cast that yet.
out of a courtesy, to get your chance at it. Everyone deserves
Wow.
a, what, 600 gold about, in my mind.
Yeah, Possum, if you want that chest too, it's all yours. I got it.
Oh, really?
Look at that mighty tunic of the monkey, too. What the fuck?
Do
Like,
you need the chest, Jackal?
I do not.
Okay. I might roll in it then.
Yo, dude, we are so good. Hey, can I get a port to IF and then everybody take like the port, get your loot first. Check that you get your loot, and then check
What
that
about
you get your
Brigham?
loot.
You don't need Brigham, do you either?
Don't
No,
take
I
it
don't.
till you get your flask. Don't take it till you get your flask. Who the fuck won? Roll.
Cost him one.
Yeah, we can't take this till we get the loot, and then take the port, and then leave if you're not staying. But please, can we get a new buff if any the druid's staying, right, and the priest?
All right, GG's guys. I'm gonna dip out.
Yeah, GG's.
Costing got it. Nice. Alright, good. Can we get a new priest buff? If you're gonna leave, and then the druid buff if you're gonna leave. That's all.
Catch you guys later.
Alright, you guys good?
Let's still recharging.
Wait, Jackal's done? What the fuck? I'm not allowed to leave. Oh, good. Let me talk to these guys up here one second.
I have the finest wires in the land. Keep your feet on the ground. Hey there. See you around. How are you? Have a good one. That spell is an idiot.
Light be with you. Be careful.
recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. Too far away. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I'm out of range. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. It's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I need to get closer. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Greetings, Del Nadris. May the stars guide you.
How are you? See you later.
How are ya? Off with you.
Well met. For the Alliance, light bless you. Go with honor, friend.
Well met. Have a good one.
is honor, friend. Light bless you. Be careful.
That's still recharging.
Greetings. For the Alliance, go with honor, friend.
Greetings. Be careful.
Need help? For the Alliance. What can I do for you? Light bless you. Need help? Go with honor, friend. Be careful. For the Alliance. Be careful. Light bless you. Go with honor, friend.
Can I help you? Be careful.
Greetings. For the Alliance. Be careful. Go with honor, friend. Light bless you. Be careful. Go with honor, friend. Well met. Light bless you. For the Alliance. Go with honor, friend.
Hello. Safe travels.
That spell is... That's still recharging.
You need something? For the Alliance. Be careful.
King's honor, friend. For the Alliance. Light bless you.
Need help?
Farewell.
Light be with you. Be careful. For the Alliance. Light bless you. Be careful.
You need something? See you later.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend. For the Alliance.
Hello. Safe travels.
Well met. Go with honor, friend.
I can't cast that yet.
Hey there. See you around.
Greetings. Light bless you. Be careful.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. Can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. What's on your mind? Be good.
Need help? Go with honor, friend. For the Alliance.
That spell isn't ready yet. can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. Not ready yet. can't do that yet. I can't cast that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Too far away. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I don't have it. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. Not ready yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That's still recharging. That ability isn't ready yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't do that yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I need to target something first. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. Recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. Still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
曾经有这样一种说法，如果我是一名坦克车长，驾车与敌人单挑，我会选择无敌的虎王；如果我是一个营长，要带领一个装甲营去补防某个战线缺口，我会选择机动灵活、攻防俱佳的豹式坦克；如果我是一位集团军元帅，需要率领装甲军突破敌人防线，长驱直入，攻城略地，直至一个整个战争的胜利，我会选择 T34。哼哼，我就不练特34，气死你们这帮小学生！别看咱 T34一脸屌丝样，咱却是对人类历史进程产生最重大深远影响的一型坦克，没有之一。T34好处都有啥？让我们从坦克的3大基本属性——火力、防护、机动来逐一分析一番。首批 T34坦克于1940年6月投产，9月下线。其安装的是 L11型76.2毫米坦克炮，长度为30.5倍口径。而同年德国横扫欧洲的坦克军团中，最新最强的4号坦克，装备的是37型75毫米坦克炮，长度为24倍口径。可以看出 ，T34刚一出生，便在火力上胜过了潜在的对手。到1941年6月，苏德战争爆发之时，新出产的 T34全面换装了威力更加强劲的41.2倍口径长度的 F34型76.2毫米炮。使用 DR350A 穿甲弹，可以在1000米距离上击穿61毫米垂直云质钢装甲。而此时德军的主力3号、4号坦克前装甲厚度均只有50毫米，所以此时德军的所有坦克在 T34的火力面前都是。在遭遇了 T34 危机过后，德国人痛定思痛，开发出威力强大的虎式和豹式坦克。强大的装甲防护使装备76毫米炮的 T34在正面根本无法将其击穿。 此时，苏德坦克质量的优劣之势已然逆转。尽管有着巨大的数量优势，但面对正面作战中骇人的战损比，T34的改进升级迫在眉睫。与德国人将88毫米高炮装上虎式坦克的做法一样，德国人也将自己的85毫米高射炮装上了 T34。T34的火力得到了一次超进化。其发射的炮弹重量9.8千克，初速达到780米每秒，这和虎式坦克的88毫米炮也非常接近。只要抵近到500米以内，便可在正面击穿虎式和豹式坦克的前装甲。T3485虽然单车性能与德军虎豹坦克仍有差距，但作为一款对之前已经量产战车的改进型，可以充分利用已有的生产线进行快速批量生产。于1943年底研制成功的 T3485，在1944年的产量便达到11000辆，超过了整个战争期间德国喵系坦克的总产量。正是这绝对的数量优势压倒了德军战车并不绝对的质量优势。德军强大的虎豹坦克说到底是一种针对苏联 T34的应急之作，单车强大的战斗性能是以牺牲整体战略性能为代价的，所以其在德军装甲部队中的装备比例始终没有超过半数。直至战争末期，装备48倍口径75毫米炮的升级版4号坦克仍然被德军作为主力坦克所使用，而其面对的海量 T3485已经在火力上具有压倒性的优势了。除了76和85两种主要型号 ，T34还装备过57毫米反坦克炮。这种73倍口径的长管小口径火炮，穿甲能力甚至比85毫米炮还强。但正如所有长身管火炮的通病那样，这种细长的57毫米火炮制造成本高昂且使用寿命较短，这从根本上违背了毛细坦克价格便宜量又足的设计精神。在几次实验性质的装备部队过后，这型坦克最终还是遭到了否定。所以整个大战期间 ，T34武器总共只生产了100辆左右。从这点我们可以看出苏德双方在坦克设计思想上的根本差异。对比苏德同级别的坦克，德国坦克总是装备更小口径、更长身管的火炮，比如豹式坦克的70倍口径75毫米炮，穿甲能力超过 T3485的55倍口径85毫米炮；武王的71倍口径88毫米炮，穿甲能力超过 IS-2的43倍口径122毫米炮。相比大口径火炮，长管小口径火炮初速更高，弹道更平，命中精度更佳，且相对较小的炮弹给装填所带来的负担更轻，确保了更快的射击频率。这使得坦克单车战斗时具有极大的灵活性。德国坦克王牌们因此得以经常发动无双神技。相比之下，走大口径粗犷路线的苏联 IS-2，其122毫米炮弹重达25公斤，这使得此炮不得不使用弹药分装模式，1分钟最多只能拢2炮。想象一下抱着自己1/3体重的铁疙瘩往狭窄炮膛里塞的苦力装填手吧。尽管单车作战灵活性欠佳，但作战规模越大，此方面缺陷就越多的被弥补。且大口径火炮在使用榴弹对付非装甲目标时有着无可比拟的优势。平均算来，大口径的蛮力输出对于集团军规模攻城略地的装甲部队而言更具优势。苏系坦克的所有特性都是以大规模整体战略为第一优先考虑而设计的，所以只要有可能，毛熊们都会往坦克上安装尽量大口径的火炮。基于此精神，往 T34坦克上安装更强大100毫米火炮的尝试也正式进行了。但过大的炮尾占满了整个炮塔的内部空间，近1米长的定装弹药100毫米炮弹几乎无法塞入炮膛，所以这种尝试最后以失败告终。但另一个改装方案却是100毫米炮成功的装上了T34的底盘。SU-100坦克歼击车装备的53.5倍口径100毫米T10反坦克炮，可以在2000米距离上击穿125毫米垂直装甲，在1000米距离上可以击穿30度倾角160毫米装甲，这使得它在1500米距离上便可正面摧毁德军的虎豹坦克。另外，这种反坦克炮的射击频率也很可观，达到每分钟5到6发，这使得 SU-100成为2战苏联最强力的反坦克战车。只要观察一下当代现役主战坦克的外形轮廓，便能看出 T34对后世坦克设计的深远影响。T34是第一种系统性布置倾斜装甲的坦克，相比此前传统的垂直装甲布置，这种大斜面装甲会牺牲一定的车内空间，但其带来的防弹性能优势在 T34身上得到了实战的强有力验证。 面对水平方向射来的炮弹，装甲处于倾斜状态时，可以在弹道路线上提供比垂直状态更厚的装甲防护，同时还可以大大增加炮弹击中装甲后无法旋转跳弹的概率。相比于将炮弹冲击力全部吸入的垂直装甲部队，倾斜装甲的设计更有些借力使力气两波前进的太极护卫。当1941年入侵的德军初次遭遇T-34时，几乎被他的这一护体神功直接吓掉了。德军大量装备的37毫米反坦炮变成只能给T-34老痒的玩具。在此前闪电战中立下赫赫战功的1、2、3号及38T 等大批轻型坦克瞬间被列入淘汰的黑名单。只有给最新型的4号坦克紧急换装48倍口径的长管75毫米炮，才能勉强对付T-34。虎豹坦克的研制和仓促投产，实际上是德国装甲战略慑于T-34的威胁而被动走入的误区。火力、防护、机动3大要素开始不可逆转地向火力和防护倾斜。机动力的牺牲不仅体现在行驶速度上，更体现在战略形成上。过高油耗和体重超标导致的频繁机械故障，使得战略后勤的负担越来越重。闪电战从此一去不复，留给德军的是无尽苦逼的装甲消耗战。为了最大程度简化工艺，适应战时大规模生产 ，T-34的装甲大量采用统一规格厚度的云质杂质钢板焊接而成。水平方向的顶部和底部使用较薄的15到20毫米钢板，车体的前后左右均采用45毫米厚钢装甲，只是用不同的倾斜角度分配出不同的防御权重。车体正面的装甲倾斜角度为60度，使得装甲在水平弹道上的施载厚度达到90毫米。这在其出阵的1941年时，绝对是极其变态的防御力。而之后，随着德国坦克火力的不断加强 ，T-34的标准装甲渐渐不堪复用，各种附加装甲便越来越多的出现。相比于一脉相承的车体 ，T-34的炮塔部分可谓是几经变动。由于位置较高、中弹概率大以及重要的战斗价值，基本上炮塔在各个方向上的防御指标都要略高于车体。最初的1940型采用焊接炮塔，安装 L11型30.5倍口径的76.2毫米炮。1941型换装了 F34型41.2倍口径的76.2毫米炮，可以从其火炮防盾看出明显区别，前者是整体铸造式，后者采用楔形柳接结构。1942型的炮塔改用整体铸造工艺，我们可以从其圆润的下巴和额头看出明显的区别。其实以当时的技术水平，整体铸造的钢件将难以避免地产生很多空泡与沙眼，与杂质型的钢板相比，质量存在明显缺陷。以德国人的视角来看，杂质钢板更可以进行表面硬化的淬火处理，所以德国坦克都是有棱有角的焊接外壳。但战时的老毛子可没空整这些有的没的，适应大规模生产才是需要第一优先解决的问题。整体铸造式炮塔简化了生产工序，缩短了制造工时，同时避免了杂质钢板切削加工时带来的金属原料浪费。总之，省时省力省资源，能省的都得省。在观看二战德军坦克的影像时，我们经常会看到车长探出半个身子指挥战斗，这是因为二战坦克的观瞄设备还很简陋，仅靠小小的潜望镜观察外部，视野十分有限，所以德军的坦克车长们都喜欢冒着风险探出脑袋观察外部情况，哥们玩的就是心跳。但是这种情形却很难在早期型号的 T-34身上看到，并不是俄军车长们贪生怕死，而是开启整体式的巨大笨重舱盖实在不是一件轻松的事，而且向前开启的巨大舱盖使得车长想要看到前方，几乎要将整个身体全部探出去，这时候自己菊花的安全就很难保证了。这个问题在 T-34-1943型上得到解决，整体式的大舱盖被换成了2个小圆盖，向前开启后，酷似米老鼠的2只耳朵。没想到一向粗犷的俄系战车也有卖萌的时候。1943型炮塔的整体形状也被重新设计，外形更规则的6角柱形结构进一步简化了生产，同时也增加了一定的车内空间。早期的 T-34尽管面对虎之前的德军坦克一直占据着火力和防护的优势，但是在协同指挥和人机契合方面大大落后于德军。战争开始的1941年 ，T-34只有指挥车配备无线电，车机间的交流基本靠旗语和骑着摩托的通讯兵，所以面对全数配备无线电、配合娴熟的德军坦克部队，苏军的 T-34部队经常被分割包围，各个击破。之后，随着英美根据租借法案研制的无线电以及苏联本国设备的量产，至1943年夏，75%的 T-34装备了车际通讯无线电材。到了1944年，电台装备率基本达到100%。 至于车类联络，对于没有炮塔吊篮的坦克来说，车长可以用简单粗暴的方法向驾驶员传达命令。
思いっきり蹴ってください。じゃあ左。挟まれた。あっちに逃げよう。聞こえません。右斜め前。
关于坦克车组配置，德军从3号坦克开始便标配5人车组，车体类2人，驾驶员和机电员；炮塔类3人，炮手、装填手、车长。T-34在设计时为了减小背弹投影面，加强防御力，炮塔设计得十分狭窄，使得内部只能容纳2人，车长一直只能由炮手兼任。这样，炮手既要用高倍率窄视角瞄准镜瞄准开炮，又要用广角潜望镜观察周边敌情。任务过于繁重，经常导致不辞失彼，悲剧了一车少年。到1944年，全面列装的 T-34-85换装了大型炮塔，拓展了内部空间，专职车长得以配置。至此 ，T-34的炮手终于可以专心打炮了。首先，让我们来看看悬挂系统。人类最初发明的坦克并没有悬挂，履带和车体之间近似刚性结合。随着坦克速度的提升，行走系统对崎岖路面的缓冲显得越来越重要。简单方便的外置式弹簧悬挂被大量应用于坦克上。二战期间的很多坦克仍然使用此类悬挂，德国的4号、苏联的 T-26、美国的谢尔曼。这种悬挂都是将小直径负重轮成组分布，共用一个弹簧减震器。优点是结构简单，维修方便，且不占用车内空间。但随着坦克重量的增大，速度要求的进一步提升，此类悬挂渐渐不堪复用。美国人沃尔特·克里斯蒂于1919年设计出一种独立式大负重轮弹簧悬挂系统，有效地解决了坦克高速行驶时的缓冲减震问题。但由于过于占用车内空间以及试验样车存在的操纵系统不灵活问题，美国军方最终放弃了这种悬挂。但是西方不良东方亮在本土遭到冷遇的克里斯蒂悬挂系统却在苏联找到了知音。在 BT 快速坦克上得到成功应用过后，这一成熟可靠的悬挂系统最终被 T-34所采用。独立的大直径负重轮的轮轴经过2次90度转折过后固定于车体上，此时的固定点只做位置约束，轮轴可绕固定端自由旋转，自由端则连上螺旋弹簧。这样负重轮遭遇障碍时的冲击将通过绕转的轮轴传递至缓冲弹簧。此一悬挂系统运作可靠，减震性能优秀，唯一的缺憾是缓冲弹簧将占用一部分车内空间，这使得本就不宽裕的 T-34车内空间显得更加拮据。克里斯蒂悬挂系统的最终进化版便是一直使用至今的扭杆悬挂系统，它用一根横贯车体的扭力杆代替了螺旋弹簧，这根扭力杆一端保持可转状态，另一端固定死，通过长长的弹性杆做旋转方向的缓冲。相比克里斯蒂，此种悬挂结构更简单，占用车体空间更少。德国的3号、虎豹、苏联的 KV-RS、美国的 M26潘兴均使用此悬挂。T-34曾有一套使用扭杆悬挂的改进方案，被称为 T-34M， 但是由于要使用重新设计的车体，这会严重影响到 T-34的大量生产，所以该方案理所当然地被迅速枪毙。最后我们来聚焦一下坦克动力的核心——发动机。T-34装备的4冲程微型12缸水冷柴油机，无疑是二战中最成功的坦克发动机，没有之一。其500马力的澎湃动力力压了德国同级别4号坦克的300马力。尽管豹式坦克动力输出高达700马力，但是由于其45吨的自重，使得推动比仍不及 T-34。T-34柴油引擎的装备在二战各国中可谓是独树一帜。到底柴油发动机有何独特优势？这里我们就借此追根溯源一番内燃机的诞生与发展始末。世界上第一台蒸汽机是由古希腊数学家希罗于公元1世纪发明的气转球。 如图所示，烧干的水蒸气通过球眼端的喷口喷出，推动球旋转。当然，这东东最终也只不过作为玩具存在过而已。最早的食用蒸汽机是用来给矿井抽水的。首先烧一锅开水，将蒸汽灌入活塞。当活塞上升到顶时，蒸汽阀关闭，冷却水阀打开。气缸内蒸汽冷凝后，气压下降，造成真空。活塞在大气压的作用下向下运动，带动抽水泵，如此反复。随后，人们找到了将活塞运动转化为旋转运动的方法，并改用力道更足的蒸汽膨胀压力方式来推动活塞。蒸汽机开启的工业革命，使人类文明驶入了一往无前的单行道。技术的进步促使机器不断得到改良，但蒸汽机的一些固有缺陷，如效率低、结构笨重，却一直未能被克服。这使之只能为船舶、火车这类大型交通工具提供动力。19世纪后半叶，随着石油资源的开发利用，内燃机应运而生。1860年，比利时工程师埃迪安·勒鲁瓦以蒸汽机为蓝本，制成了首台燃气内燃机。这种燃气内燃机便是后来2冲程汽油机的原型。当活塞从下支点向上支点运动时，导气口和排气口先后被关闭，燃料和空气组成的混合燃气在气缸顶部被压缩。与此同时，上行的活塞使底部曲轴箱容积增大，混合燃气被从进气口吸入进来。当活塞行至上支点时，电火花塞点燃混合燃气，推动活塞下行。排气口先被打开，燃烧完的废气得以释放，接着打开导气口。下行的活塞将混合燃气从曲轴箱压入顶部燃烧室，新一轮循环开始。这种2冲程内燃机结构简单，体积小巧，但燃气进入燃烧室过程中，会有一部分从排气管泄漏出去，且燃气点燃后推动活塞下行做工行程较短，总体来说燃料利用率低。所以现在2冲程汽油机主要用于摩托车、电锯以及模型等小型设备上。鉴于这种局限性，德国工程师尼古拉斯·奥托于1876年制成了新奥托发动机，即4冲程发动机的原型，被称为奥托循环。首先活塞下行，进气阀打开，吸入混合燃气，然后活塞在曲轴惯性作用力推动下上行。
Can't start yet. That's still recharging. I can't start yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That ability isn't ready yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. Can't start yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't do that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Cast that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. I can't use that item yet. I can't do that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. Still recharging. Not ready yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. Cast that yet. I can't do that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. Still recharging. That ability isn't ready yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
In the world of Warcraft, I think it's safe to say that one of the most infamous zones in the entire game is the Barrens. It might look like a massive empty desert with a pretty boring name, but because of its very central location in Kalimdor, adventurers from all over Azeroth used to converge on the Barrens to do their questing. The endless stretches of dry land mixed in with a massive amount of inexperienced Horde members turned the Barrens into a true World of Warcraft phenomenon. A perfect example of what way too much time under the scorching Kalimdor sun can do to your mind. In this video, we'll look back at the history and the lore behind this iconic zone, and then we'll also have a look at the strange psychological toll it had on the people who passed through here. The history of the Barrens stretches back tens of thousands of years, to a time when the Night Elf Empire ruled over the vast supercontinent of Kalimdor. Back then, the Barrens looked nothing like the dry wilderness we see today. It was a lush, thriving forest filled with life and overflowing with arcane energy, which was a direct result of the Night Elves' deep connection to nature and of course their mastery over the arcane, all fueled by the magical source of energy known as the Well of Eternity. The Well of Eternity was a vast shimmering lake of raw power formed from the very lifeblood of Azeroth's world soul. It came into being when Aman'Thul, leader of the Titan Pantheon, tore one of the old gods from the planet's surface, leaving behind a wound that bled pure energy. The forests that once covered the region where the Barrens are now located were important enough for Queen Azshara to order the construction of an outpost there. The settlement, known as Then R'hllor, became a small but vital part of the Night Elf Empire's golden age. So we know for certain that this land was once alive with Night Elf presence over 10,000 years ago. But as we all know, that age of prosperity would not last. The Night Elves' thirst for power turned to greed, and that greed eventually turned to madness, a madness that set off the events that would shatter their glorious empire and reshape the entire world of Azeroth forever. Queen Azshara and her loyal circle of highborn Night Elves pushed their experiments with the Well of Eternity too far. Their reckless use of its power sent ripples of energy across the cosmos, echoes that reached the very darkest corners of the Great Dark Beyond, essentially painting a massive target on Azeroth's back. Out amongst those stars, the Burning Legion and their leader Sargeras were on their burning crusade, searching for new worlds to destroy and world souls to annihilate. Through their arrogance, the Night Elves had unknowingly invited the Burning Legion to our precious world. Sargeras set his sights on Azeroth, but to reach it, he would need help from within the world itself. The first of the Highborn to hear the Legion's whispers was Xavius. one of the most powerful sorcerers Azeroth has ever seen, and also the High Counselor to Queen Azshara herself. Under commands from the Queen, Xavius drew upon the Well of Eternity's power to construct a massive portal deep within its waters. With the portal complete, Sargeras began sending his agents through. Soon, the Legion's forces clashed with a growing resistance on Azeroth, made up of Night Elves who refused to surrender their world. Known as the Kaldorei Resistance, this force united the people of Azeroth and even the mighty Wild Gods, the Dragon Aspects, and countless smaller races all came together to defend their home. And with that, the War of the Ancients had begun, the desperate battle to save Azeroth from annihilation. The war eventually reached the forests that once stood where the Barrens are today. The Burning Legion swept through the trees, destroying everything in sight, and that continued until they encountered the White Wolf. As mentioned earlier, Azeroth was and still is home to many wild gods, primal beings tied to nature and life itself. Their exact origins aren't fully known, but it's believed that they were created when the Titan Freya spread life and nature across the ordered world. What the Legion didn't realise though, was that they had just entered the territory of the White Wolf Ancient. Goldrin, also known as Logosh, hunted alone, preying on the agents of the Legion passing through the forests. It is said that many of his battles took place right where the Barrens now lie. Eventually though, the sheer number of Legion forces proved too much for the White Wolf. Goldrin was overwhelmed and fell in battle, his wounds too great to recover from. But even after death, his spirit carried on, and the story of the White Wolf was passed down through generations of people, slowly becoming a lasting legend. The war would rage on across Kalimdor, but in the end, the Kaldorei resistance prevailed. They pushed the Burning Legion back to their portal at the Well of Eternity, and Malfurion managed to reverse the flow of its power. The well, however, could not withstand this strain. The energies twisting within it reached a breaking point, the Well of Eternity imploded, and the very world broke apart. Nearly 80% of Kalimdor's landmass was destroyed in what became known as the Great Sundering. The vast forests of central Kalimdor were obliterated. Mountains rose and fell, and only scattered pockets of greenery survived. Where there was once endless forests, there were now open skies and scorched earth. Flat plains and dry deserts baked under the relentless sun, and the Barrens had been born. During the War of the Ancients, Jared Shadowsong, commander of the Kaldorei Resistance, formed an alliance with a native race known as the Tauren. They fought alongside the Kaldorei Resistance to defend their homeland, and after the Great Sundering, they resettled across the new landscape, in regions we now know as the Barrens, Mulgore, and Desolace, a kind of central belt across Kalimdor. Their skill as hunters of the great beasts of Kalimdor allowed them to live in peace, fully living off the land in a simple, nomadic, hunter-gatherer lifestyle. But even as one of the dominant races of central Kalimdor for thousands of years, the Tauren would eventually face a new and relentless threat. Around 1,000 years ago, they came under constant attack from a savage new enemy, the Centaur. The Centaur are brutal, half-human, half-horse humanoids that roam and terrorize the central plains of Kalimdor. Their civilization is harsh and primitive, bitter and full of hatred. They multiplied quickly and spread across Kalimdor, driving the Tauren from their settlements in Desolace and Mulgore, and beginning a long, brutal war between the two races. Of course, with all of this talk of battles between the Tauren and the Centaur, it's easy to forget that the Barrens were still part of central Kalimdor's wider ecosystem. It wasn't completely unusual to see the occasional night elf travelling through the Barrens. It was certainly rare though, and what was even more rare is if they were on their own and crying. To the north of the Barrens lies Ashenvale, a forest that managed to keep most of its magic after the Great Sundering. It became one of the new settlements for the Night Elves, who rebuilt their society among the trees after the fall of their great empire. Their new way of life was built on purity, balance and peace, but even in a society that was striving for harmony, betrayal was still a part of their daily lives. One story tells us of a night elf named Thorin. He returned home one day to find his partner in the arms of another elf. Heartbroken and consumed by despair, Thorin wandered south into the Barrens, searching for something. Peace, answers, maybe even a reason to keep going. But what he found there was much darker. As he cried out in pain, the sands where he stood began to shift, as the sands parted and axe emerged from the ground, as if the barons themselves had given him the answer to his problems. Thorin took up the weapon and returned home. In a fit of rage, he committed a terrible act. Realizing the horror of what he had just done, Thorin fled to the coast and hurled the axe into the sea, hoping to bury both the weapon and his guilt forever. We need to fast forward in time here, to the point where the orcs first arrived on Kalimdor. Now, most of us know the major plots of that story. The orcs invaded Azeroth in Year Zero, sacked Stormwind, pushed north into Lordaeron, and after suffering heavy losses, were eventually driven back to the Dark Portal. Many fled back to Draenor, but some remained behind. Those who did were soon captured and placed in internment camps. In one of those camps in Lordaeron, a young orphaned orc named Thrall was being raised as a gladiator slave. He would eventually escape, reunite with remaining free orcs, and begin rebuilding the Horde. And then he was guided by a mysterious vision from an oracle. Thrall led his people across the Great Sea, leaving Lordaeron behind in search of a new destiny. After a quick stop to aid the Darkspear trolls on their island, the orcs finally made landfall on the shores of Kalimdor. Now, we've covered this entire story in much more depth in our Durotar and Orc Origins video, but as the orcs journeyed inland, Thrall's group discovered signs of battle. Eventually, Thrall and his troops met a band of Tauren, led by an aging but powerful chieftain named Cairn Bloodhoof. Cairn praised the orcs for their strength in battle, and after introductions, Thrall told him of the orcs' search for the Oracle, who was said to dwell in the northern mountains somewhere. When Thrall mentioned seeing a large centaur army moving that way, Cairn realised his village was in danger and rushed to defend it. Thrall, eager to help and learn more about the Oracle, followed with his army. Together they fought side by side and drove back the centaur assault. After the battle, Cairn told Thrall of his people's struggle, how the centaur had driven off all the prey and forced the Tauren to cross the barren plains in search of safety. Fearing they wouldn't survive the journey, Cairn accepted Thrall's offer to escort them across the plains in exchange for guidance to the Oracle's location. With the orcs' help, Cairn and his tribe reclaimed the grasslands of Mulgore and built their home atop the mesas of Thunderbluff. The orcs eventually found the Oracle and learned the truth of their destiny. The Oracle, who was revealed to be the mage Medivh, urged them to join forces with the humans of Azeroth and stand together against the return of the Burning Legion. Before long, the Legion marched on the Night Elven stronghold near the summit of Mount Hyjal. The remaining defenders of Azeroth, the Night Elves, the humans, the Tauren, the Orcs, all gathered there for one final stand to protect their world. When Malfurion raised the Horn of Cenarius, its call echoed through the forests, and the Wisps responded as one, channeling their energy into Nordrassil. The explosion ripped through the mountain, vaporizing Archimonde and his army. And with that, the Legion's second invasion of Azeroth had ended, and the world had been saved again. After the war, the orcs returned to the Barrens in search of a place to call their own. Travelling east, they crossed the Great South Fury River and settled along the rocky coast beyond it. There, they claimed the lands as their new home, naming it Durotar in honour of Thrall's father. From that point on, the orcs began building their great stronghold and shaping a new future for the Horde. But the orcs weren't the only ones to settle in Kalimdor after the Third War. Jaina Proudmoore and her human forces also made their way south, establishing the port city of Theramore along the eastern coast of Dustwallow Marsh. By the 24th year, the Barrens had become a neutral stretch of land between the New Horde's territory and the Alliance settlements to the south. For a time, there was an uneasy peace between these two factions, but as we know, that calm wouldn't last. Across Kalimdor, hidden agents of the Burning Legion were still at work. One of the surviving demons was a manipulator named Smodlor. He set his sights on a splintered remnant of the old Burning Blade clan, a clan of orcs who had once served the Burning Legion. While most of the clan had now rejected their demonic ties after the war, a small group of them still clung to their old loyalties, and Smodlor easily infiltrated them. But he
The northeast of the US packs in over 50 million people, making it one of America's most crowded corners. But here's the twist. Almost 90% of them live in the southern half of that corner. That leaves the vast northern reaches surprisingly empty. So why does the most populous region in the US have such a sparsely populated northern frontier? To answer this question, we gotta start with the physical geography. When we think of the American Northeast, we tend to immediately think of the many large cities that dot the region, New York City and Boston being the two obvious examples. Yet, if you venture even just a little farther northeast, a dramatically different landscape emerges. This is America's empty Northeast, a vast expanse encompassing northern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And despite being nestled in one of the most densely populated regions of the United States, this area stands apart, defined by a rugged physical geography that distinguishes it from its more populous neighbors to the south. The most striking feature of this deep northeast region is its mountainous terrain, a stark contrast to the gentler, rolling hills and coastal plains found in the south. While southern New England and downstate New York are characterized by lower elevations and more navigable river valleys, this northern expanse is dominated by ancient, weathered mountain ranges. The Adirondacks of northern New York State is a vast wilderness home to countless peaks, lakes, and forests. And to their east, the Green Mountains form the spine of Vermont, extending into Quebec. And further east still, the White Mountains of New Hampshire boast the highest peaks in the northeastern US, including Mount Washington, infamous for its extreme weather. Maine too is very rugged, with its interior defined by the western Maine Mountains and vast, unbroken forests stretching to the Canadian border. These ranges aren't merely hills, as they're often compared to the Rocky Mountains. They are significant barriers. Beyond the mountains, the prevalence of glaciation further differentiates this northern region. During the last ice age, massive ice sheets scoured the entire northeast, but their impact is particularly pronounced here. As the glaciers retreated, they carved out thousands of lakes and ponds, deepened river valleys, and left behind a chaotic mix of rocky soils and till. This legacy of ice means that much of the land is rocky and thin-soiled, less amenable to large-scale farming than the deeper, richer soils found in, say, the Connecticut River Valley, or the fertile plains of central New York. The sheer abundance of water bodies, from the vastness of Lake Champlain to countless smaller, pristine lakes nestled in the mountains, is a direct result of this glacial activity. Another key differentiator is the extensive forest cover. While parts of southern New England are still heavily wooded, the north is overwhelmingly forested to this day. This isn't just scattered woodlands, it's a nearly continuous blanket of boreal and temperate forests, especially evident in northern Maine and the Adirondacks, which collectively form one of the largest unbroken tracts of forests in the eastern United States. Even to this day, after centuries of deforestation, it remains a dominant feature, supporting industries like timber and paper and providing critical habitat for wildlife. Finally, the climate of the region plays out differently between the north and south. While all of the Northeast experiences distinct seasons, the northern part endures longer, colder winters, with substantially more snowfall. Its higher latitudes and mountainous topography contribute to a harsher climate. This isn't to say that the south is tropical or Mediterranean, but the difference in average temperature and the length of the growing season is noticeable between the north and south. All of this is to say, while the Northeast is, broadly considered to be a singular geographic region within the United States, there are stark differences as you cross from the lower parts of New York and New England and into the north. And those differences play a huge role in how and why people settled the region. Speaking of things spreading far and wide, have you ever thought about how much of your personal data is floating around on the internet? We live in a world where data brokers are constantly collecting and selling your personal data without you even realizing it. They can gather everything from your phone number and address to your age and even information about your relatives. This isn't just about spam calls. It's about real risks. Knowing where you live, what you do, or even your political views can expose you to everything from phishing scams to identity theft. It's a truly unsettling thought, especially when we consider how much of our lives are online. That's why I personally use Delete Me. It's a service that helps me take back control of my privacy by getting my personal information removed from those data broker websites. Their privacy experts constantly work to find and remove my data, monitoring hundreds of sites all year long. And each month, I get a report showing me exactly what they found and what they removed, which is incredibly reassuring. And they can do this for you too. So go to joindeleteme.com/GeoByJeff and use my promo code GeoByJeff at checkout to get 20% off their consumer plans. Once again, that's joindeleteme.com/GeoByJeff and use code GeoByJeff for 20% off.
That's still recharging.
The vast expanse of America's empty Northeast may seem sparsely populated today, but it's not that nobody has ever lived there before. In fact, from ancient indigenous people to European colonization and the eventual formation of the individual states of the United States, there has always been some people living here. But unlike the rapid urban growth of southern New England, settlement here was a prolonged affair. Now, naturally, before European colonization, this landscape was home to thriving indigenous nations. The Abenaki, particularly the Western Abenaki in Vermont and New Hampshire, and the Eastern Abenaki in Maine, left a big mark on the land. Their extensive network of trails followed river valleys and mountain passes, connecting communities that are now state and international borders from present-day Quebec and down into Massachusetts. These trails were not just routes for travel, they were arteries of trade, communication, and cultural exchange. Meanwhile, in northern New York, the Iroquois Confederacy exerted significant influence, with their territories extending towards the Adirondacks. These indigenous peoples would be amongst the first who would encounter Europeans when they began to arrive in the 1600s. European interest in the region began early, but they primarily stuck to the coast in Massachusetts and southern New England. As such, it was primarily French explorers and traders who established early outposts in the northern region, particularly along the waterways connecting to Quebec, influencing areas of Vermont and northern New York. The English, expanding northward from the Massachusetts Bay Colony, focused more on the coastal regions of Maine and the southern parts of New Hampshire. However, the dense forests, harsh climate, and fierce resistance from indigenous populations, often allied with the French during the colonial wars, made permanent agricultural settlement slow and perilous. Unlike the relatively swift land grabs of southern New England, establishing firm control and clearing land in the north was a painstaking process, often marked by conflict and hardship. The end of the French and Indian War in 1763, which mostly removed French influence in North America, opened the floodgates for more concerted British settlement. Land speculation became rampant, particularly in Vermont, which was claimed by both the colonies of New York and New Hampshire. This overlapping claim led to the unique situation of Vermont declaring itself an independent republic in 1777, a no man's land for 14 years before finally being admitted as the 14th state in 1791, balancing the number of free and slave states in the country. New Hampshire, with its vital port of Portsmouth, was one of the original 13 colonies. Its settlement pushed inland from the coast, grappling with the White Mountains and eventually establishing its western border along the Connecticut River. Its transition to statehood was a direct part of the American Revolution, as one of its founding states. Meanwhile, Maine's journey to statehood was tied to Massachusetts. For centuries, Maine was simply the District of Maine within Massachusetts. Its economy is heavily reliant on timber and shipbuilding. As its population grew and its economic interests diverged from those of Massachusetts, particularly regarding the War of 1812 and trade policies, a strong movement for independence emerged. The Missouri Compromise of 1820 provided the perfect opportunity. Maine was admitted as a free state, balancing Missouri's entry as a slave state, thus becoming the 23rd state. Northern New York, while part of the vast state of New York, followed a similar pattern of late and difficult settlement. The Adirondacks, viewed as an impenetrable wilderness for much of the 1700s and early 1800s, only saw significant, albeit limited, development with the rise of the timber industries and later tourism in the mid-1800s. Its integration into New York State was a given, but its physical geography ensured a different developmental trajectory than the fertile Mohawk Valley or the bustling Hudson corridor. Suffice it to say, the northern region of New York and New England had been part of the United States for a long, long time. Certainly long enough to become a more densely populated region, so why haven't more people moved to the area? America's empty Northeast is a geographic paradox. It lies within the most densely populated corridor of the United States, yet its population of just 4.9 million people is roughly equivalent to the Boston metro area alone. And, in fact, if we take the entirety of southern New England and southern New York, an area roughly equal in total area size as the empty Northeast, you get a population nearly 10 times greater at over 46 million people. This striking demographic anomaly isn't accidental. It's the cumulative result of a powerful interplay between its distinctive physical geography, its challenging history of settlement, and the economic forces that have shaped its development. At the heart of the region's enduring emptiness is its formidable physical geography. As we've explored, this is a land dominated by ancient rugged mountains like the Adirondacks, Green Mountains, and White Mountains. These ranges are not just scenic backdrops. They are significant natural barriers in the same way that the Rocky Mountains are. Their steep slopes, rocky terrain, and high elevation historically made large-scale agriculture extremely difficult, especially compared to the fertile river valleys and coastal plains found further south in states like Massachusetts, Connecticut, or downstate New York. And even if you did take the time to clear the land for settlement, an immense task, you were treated to soil that wasn't great for agriculture and land that didn't hold much mineral value. This was the pervasive legacy of glaciation, which left behind thin, acidic soils and countless lakes and wetlands, which just wasn't very valuable compared to southern lands. The sheer extent of forest cover is another key factor. While forests are a vital part of the region's allure and economy today, for much of its history, they were a formidable impediment to settlement. Unlike the more open prairie-like lands further west, establishing a farm or town here meant felling vast tracts of old-growth timber, a back-breaking endeavor that made expansion slow and costly. This isn't to say that southern New York and New England didn't have vast forests, but given its proximity to the coast and more valuable land, there was more of an impetus to clear it and settle the area, something that just didn't exist in the north. And of course, the climate also plays a critical role here. With longer, colder winters and heavier snowfall than much of the rest of the Northeast, the growing season is shorter and the costs of heating and maintaining infrastructure are higher. While people certainly adapt, these factors historically presented significant disincentives for large-scale migration and settlement, particularly when more temperate and agriculturally viable lands were available elsewhere in the country. But it's not just the physical geography. There's also the fact that this region was consistently contested throughout the 1600s and 1700s. Constant conflicts with indigenous peoples, who fiercely defended their lands, and the prolonged rivalry between the French and British powers kept much of the interior a dangerous frontier for over a century. And even after the French and Indian War had concluded and the region became safer to settle, another war was beginning to bubble up, the American Revolution. This war, of course, stymied settlements because the British used Canada as a primary base of operations, turning the region once again into a battlefield between two sides. Finally, when all was said and done, and the area became fully part of the United States, with the inclusion of Vermont in 1791, the country became more interested in settling and pushing people to its western region beyond the Appalachian Mountains and into the Great Lakes area, rather than pushing people north towards its still confrontational border with British Canada. And once the US acquired the Louisiana Purchase from France in 1803, there became a desperate rush to get even more people out west in order to legitimize their claim to the land, something that Spain, Britain, and of course the indigenous peoples of the area didn't accept at first. But also, the land's limitations meant that the few farming ventures that were there were marginal at best, and the lack of natural resources prevented other industries from popping up, unlike the industrializing southern New England, which saw waves of immigrants from Europe drawn to factory jobs, the empty Northeast lacked the industrial pull to attract and retain large populations. Its economy remained largely extractive and reliant on timber, granite, and fishing industries that, while significant, do not typically foster high population densities. Even today, the region has struggled to diversify beyond these traditional sectors. While tourism and outdoor recreation are growing, they often lead to seasonal populations or second homes rather than permanent, year-round residents. And the lack of significant urban centers, with the exception of smaller cities like Portland, Burlington, and Manchester, means fewer large-scale employers, research institutions, and diverse economic opportunities that attract and retain young professionals and families. In fact, it's gotten so bad that states like Maine and Vermont have enacted policies to pay people to move to the state. Today, the empty Northeast maintains a population just a hair under 5 million people, which is just over 1% of the entire United States population. This is incredibly low when compared to the single metro region of Boston, which has just as many people. The empty Northeast is mostly empty because, during a time when Americans were spreading far and wide, most were heading west, where more valuable land was located. And this is a trend that we continue to see today, where the Northeast region continually ranks amongst the lowest in terms of...
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
We are evolving the OS. Windows is now your canvas for AI and agents. We're innovating in 3 key ways. First, bringing AI and agents into your flow and making it more intuitive to use. And second, making Microsoft 365 Copilot more contextually helpful on Windows. And third, making Copilot Plus PCs even more powerful with enhanced AI.
That clip was an announcement from Microsoft a few weeks ago. They're making it clear that AI is now at the forefront of Windows. Windows 11, they say, is becoming an agentic operating system. Agentic, the latest buzzword for autonomous AI. Soon your PC will make decisions on your behalf, with the help of a built-in AI. Shortly after the event, Pavan Davuluri, the president of Windows and Devices, tweeted the news online. The response was, well, far from pleasant. Some of the comments directly under the tweet received thunderous applause in the form of likes. They read as follows: "It's evolving into a product that's driving people to Mac and Linux." Another one says, "Stop this nonsense. No one wants this. You live in a Twitter bubble where AI will create tons of wealth and you'll perish unless you adopt it now. But your users are not in this bubble. They don't care about any of this. Shh. They chat with ChatGPT and that's about it." And another comment, "Nobody wants this except the parties you're selling our data to without permission." If you've used a Windows PC in the last few years, in some sense, you may have felt the same way, a little frustrated. The AI push seems like just the latest in a string of efforts to make it feel like the computer that you paid for isn't really yours anymore. From forced upgrades, advertisements carelessly littered through the user interface, online account requirements for everything, and now, an aggressive push into AI. You get the picture now. Windows 11 has become one of the biggest sources of user frustration in recent memory. As you'll later see, it's all part of the plan for Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, and it's all working just as it's intended to. These changes have made a lot of people wonder, is Windows still a tool for the user, or is it a cash extraction exercise for Microsoft? And hey, these feelings aren't unfounded. It comes from years of bad decisions. But here's the thing, curiously, at the same time, Microsoft is now currently valued at $3.8 trillion and on track to reach $5 trillion. It's one of the most powerful companies in the world, so from a broad perspective, these decisions are making business sense. But right there, you can see it, a massive divergence is forming. As the value of the company skyrockets, the user experience of Windows is moving in the opposite direction, down the toilet. Everyone can sense there's a problem here, but the question needs to be asked, what exactly is happening here? How did Windows, the flagship operating system of the world, now end up feeling like it no longer works for the person using it? And why does Microsoft keep doubling down on these decisions? If you've ever wondered these questions, then today is your lucky day, because we'll answer them right now in this episode.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Microsoft Windows is the operating system that entire generations grew up with, the one we learned to type on, the one that taught many of us what a desktop even was. In 2025, its presence is still enormous. More than 1 billion devices run Windows. It holds around 70% of the desktop market, with Mac OS at 13% and Chrome OS under 2%. But for years now, Windows has fostered a slow but steady drip of annoyance from users. A programmer by the name of Rob Braxman, who had his software demoed on stage by Bill Gates, states that he hasn't seen backlash this bad since the transition from DOS 3.1 to Windows 1.0 all the way back in 1985.
I've never encountered so much resistance to moving to a newer version, likely since DOS 3.1 to Windows, and that was justifiable. But in recent years, with the advent of Windows 11, I have to say that Microsoft has truly gone crazy.
If the experience has been getting worse for so long, why does Microsoft keep making these decisions? Why does Windows suck so much today? To understand why Windows feels a bit like a money-extracting husk, we briefly need to look at how Microsoft came to dominate and what they end up doing when they find themselves top dog. Back in the late 80s and 90s, Bill Gates built his empire by getting MS-DOS onto as many machines as possible. It's a wild story that I've covered previously in the piece, Gary Kildall, the man who should have been Bill Gates. But the point was, once Windows was everywhere, Microsoft could dictate the rules of personal computing. Look no further than the famous antitrust case and deposition of Bill Gates in regards to forcing Internet Explorer onto everyone, or just some of the aggressive contracts signed with hardware partners. In a way, it was a sign of things to come. Satya Nadella, the company's current CEO, is continuing the same idea of cornering the market, then dictating the rules, but in a less illegal way. He's capitalizing on Windows' legacy reach to push all users into Microsoft's online ecosystem. When Nadella took over in 2014, Azure, Office 365, and enterprise licensing became the core of Microsoft, and you can see the effect clearly in the company's valuation. This chart shows the moment Nadella steps in. You can see a sharp rise and continuous rise in shareholder champagne popping as the company steered itself towards cloud services and long-term recurring revenue. It has been a remarkably successful strategy for shareholders. In fiscal year 2025, Microsoft reported $252 billion in revenue, and over 55% of that, or about $138 billion, came from cloud services alone. When much of that business depends on B2B or enterprise clients and online services, the incentives behind Windows naturally shift. And this context explains why the operating system feels the way it does. In the corporate world, the grip of Microsoft is virtually absolute. Enterprise adoption of Windows 11 has passed 60% since support for Windows 10 ended. More on that later. And Microsoft controls roughly 40% of the server market. So some of you might be wondering, why do companies still use Windows if there's all these problems that we're going to soon talk about? Well, aside from company legacy systems and processes, for software support, Windows is still king. But going back to Microsoft's shift to the cloud, it's insanely profitable. When almost every corporation relies on Windows, who cares about home users? They do very little for the bottom line of Microsoft. Their frustration rarely affects revenue, and their complaints don't threaten billion-dollar contracts. So it's no wonder that over time, Windows began reflecting shareholder priorities rather than the users. Now let's get into the juicy stuff. Just some of the mind-boggling decisions that Microsoft has made. It's Windows' slow decline into trash.
That's still recharging.
And I don't think it has to always be this way. I absolutely, definitely think there is a path to redemption for Windows. I just don't think they're going to take it.
I don't think it would take that much work to make it not trash, genuinely. The thing that bothers me most is the things that they actively do that actively make it bad or worse. If I have purchased my Windows, I don't want freaking ads. Any amount. Don't just like put all this junk there all the time. Don't make search bad.
Once you reach the desktop, Windows keeps trying to steer you in the same direction. Online, it's pushing you to sign into account for almost everything. It encourages you to store files on OneDrive.
It is constantly reminding you to sign up for OneDrive so that all of your files and data and everything can be hosted by Microsoft on the OneDrive.
Congratulations,
Microsoft Office
you have
is
reached
now
level 6.
subscription tied directly to the same account.
During the Windows 7 era and before, you would get Microsoft Office for free. It came with the operating system. You didn't have to sign in. Now it's a subscription service. Yeah, Microsoft is basically just milking you for every single dime.
Even shutting down your computer is no longer simple, because Windows insists on installing updates first.
I'm sure your boss will understand when your Windows PC randomly shuts down in the middle of, say, an important meeting, or just before a deadline with your work unsaved, just for it to spend, if you're lucky, minutes booting back up while it does forced updates, even though you said whichever option was closest to "not now, I'm busy," or if you're really unlucky, hours to do those updates. Try telling your boss that it's Microsoft's fault that you can't finish your work.
Honestly, Windows 11 has hundreds of small issues that users keep running into. The list just goes on. The OS was so bogged down with junk that even the user interface was measurably slower than the previous version. And the crazy thing is, Microsoft admitted that the syncing to OneDrive in the background was slowing down the computers of users. But the worst was yet to come. This message is sponsored by Raycon. With the holidays coming up in Australia, which by the way is summer, the weather is perfect for long walks in the evening, and I love having music on, but it's also good to hear the world around me. I've been using Raycon's Essential Open Earbuds, and honestly, they're great. What makes these different from regular earbuds is that they sit just outside your ear canal, so you get a clear, full sound while still hearing what's happening around you. I've been using them pretty much every day, whether working at home, at the gym, or heading out for walks. Whether it's cars passing by or just the noise of the city, you can stay aware while listening to music, podcasts, or taking calls. They're also really light, and the multi-angular rotating ear hook means that they actually stay put. And here's what I really appreciate. Raycon's sound quality is right up there with the premium brands, but without the crazy price tags. They've got over 3 million happy customers and a 30-day happiness guarantee, so there's no risk trying them out. The open ear design does give a breathable fit for me. It's comfortable, and battery life is up to 36 hours, so I know they're going to last for those long evening summer walks. And right now is the perfect time to grab a pair. The Essential Open Earbuds are here for the holidays, and Raycon audio products are up to 20% off site-wide. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/coldfusionopen to save up to 20% off during this holiday season. Order by December 15th to guarantee delivery by Christmas, because great gifts like these earbuds shouldn't show up late. That's buyraycon.com/coldfusionopen. The links are below in the description too. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Now back to the story. At the same time, without fixing the basics, the company began pushing AI into every part of its services, including Windows itself. They invested more than $13 billion into OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, and that investment was one of the largest bets that Microsoft had ever made on a single technology. As a side, the investment lost Microsoft $11.5 billion in just the last quarter. But with that level of investment, it was to no surprise that AI became central in Microsoft's plans. New AI features began spraying all over Word, Excel, Outlook, Paint, and Copilot. Some of these features were useful, but a lot of them felt like they were simply added because the company could.
So basically what they want in an AI PC is, first you should be able to interact with it naturally, in text or voice, and have it understand you. Second, it should be able to see what you see and offer guided support. So I'm going to select Screen 2, and now Copilot is watching everything. Can you help me find a Flash game on the internet known as Pico School? I believe it's on Newgrounds.
Pico School is a classic Flash game. You can find it on their website and also on the Internet Archive.
Can you take me there?
Sure. To find Pico School on Newgrounds, just open your web browser, and it's a popular Flash game, so it should be one of the top.
No, can you do it for me?
Sure, I can't directly navigate websites or open specific online...
What the f is the point? Okay, what is the point?
Ironically, Microsoft warned Windows users not to use Copilot in Excel for anything that, quote, requires accuracy, i.e. spreadsheets. Why? Because it hallucinates too much. And that whole agentic computer thing, well, Copilot doesn't work as well as advertised yet.
Does talking to your computer work like in its TV ad? Can you get me a link to one that's in stock?
Here's the link to Best Buy. Link to bestbuy.com/11bestbuy/sure website. And it's for most definitely in stock. And it's for most definitely in stock. And it's available for pickup or delivery, and it's for most definitely in stock.
Okay, thanks, Copilot.
What all these changes had in common was they kept people connected to Microsoft's online services. And this is where the bigger picture becomes clearer. Windows is the surface. The real product is the network of services underneath it, and they all point in one direction, towards benefiting Microsoft's shareholders, and not the user. You can clearly see it in the transition from Windows 10 to Windows 11. When Microsoft officially ended support for Windows 10 in October 2025, roughly 40% of its users were still on it. That's 400 million people. The message was clear: move to Windows 11 or be left behind. The problem, though, was that many users couldn't even upgrade if they wanted to. Their computers were still modern and powerful, but Windows 11 refused to install because of a new hardware requirement called a TPM 2.0. So what the heck is that? Well, a TPM, or Trusted Platform Module, is a chip that stores security keys. Microsoft framed it as necessary protection, but to millions of users, it felt like a lock added without consent. Devices that worked perfectly well the day before were now suddenly considered outdated, but there were more problems with the TPM chip.
Pay attention to that. Safe travels. The TPM endorsement key, that's a unique identifier of your machine. Now it is tied to your Microsoft ID identity. You can't change it. You can't delete it. Now the device ID is specifically known and it's pulled from the TPM. Third parties can access this now with no restriction via API. If you want to know how to check your TPM status, here are example commands on Windows. By the way, you can restrict access. There's a deliberate purpose to all this madness, and it's all tied to the AI. So don't think this is some random choice by Microsoft.
And that was only the start. The Windows 11 setup process now requires a Microsoft account and an internet connection. The option to create a local account was removed, and the usual workarounds were patched out.
Have to have a Microsoft email address to use a Windows 11 PC. At least that's the way that Microsoft is pushing it. Because even the workarounds to get a local account working on a new Windows computer, which are slowly being broken as we go, even though people keep finding new ways, Microsoft keeps breaking it, now they're going to get to the point where you can't even use the PC with a local account.
It's all a push to funnel users into cloud services and extract money from them. But that authoritarian approach comes with a cost. When customers are constantly thrown around and beaten over the head with money extracting tactics, well, what do you know? They don't like it. People who once felt at home on Windows now feel like they're being watched, nudged, and controlled by the operating system. Instead of being a user, they feel like they're part of a product that they never agreed to be in. In some cases, they completely lose control of their computer. For example, Rob Braxman had his Linux partition wiped without his consent because Windows 11 didn't like him running 2 OSs on his computer.
I wasn't even using BitLocker, and it still signaled Windows to take over the boot sequence. This is not a bug. This is by design. Very devious.
Privacy erosion is also a big part of this shift. Windows has always collected some information in the background, but over the years, that quiet data collection grew into something that people could no longer ignore. Microsoft calls it telemetry. It's meant to improve stability, but investigations have shown that even on the lowest setting, Windows still gathers details about the apps you use, your hardware, and your system behavior. That information is sent back to Microsoft, sometimes for Microsoft to serve you better ads for their services, and other times to a wide network of analytics and content providers. Unless you're on an Enterprise Edition, there's no real way to switch it off. So when Microsoft announced Windows Recall, the reaction made sense. Recall aimed to record everything you've ever done on your PC by capturing snapshots of your screen and feeding it to an AI so you can search your previous activity in natural language. It was framed as a convenient tool, but to many users, it felt like confirmation that Windows was crossing a line. Security researchers later found that the way Recall stored data was not fully protected and could be accessed by malware or anyone with local access.
Software, their malware, their virus running on your computer. Now they have a treasure trove of things to pick from. They don't just have your most recent email. They have every screenshot that your computer has ever taken. They have your banking details, because they don't get scrubbed when Copilot or Recall takes a photo of it every few seconds. They know everything about you and can impersonate you to a T.
And Microsoft says we shouldn't worry about this. It's all local. But here's the thing. There is no technical barrier to sending an instruction to the AI companion to examine your Recall database and report findings to HQ. This can be done without any data leaving your computer.
The backlash was strong enough that Microsoft eventually pulled the feature before launch. It eventually returned as an opt-out tool, with encryption this time and stronger authentication. But even with these improvements, people are still very unsure about it. At this point, it's no longer about a single feature. When you combine the terrible user experience and growing privacy concerns, it's easy to see why people are exploring alternatives. Users who want more transparency and more control are choosing Linux, and those who want something just simple and stable are going to macOS. And don't get me wrong, Windows still dominates the consumer market, but it's slowly losing market share. Pavan Davuluri, president of Windows and Devices, publicly acknowledged the criticism. In a tweet, he listed reliability and performance issues, and ease of use issues are areas that need attention. The reaction, yet again, wasn't very kind. In the end, this story is less about Windows changing and more about Microsoft's priorities. The company found a model that maximizes shareholder value, but it comes at the cost of the user experience. So the real question is whether Microsoft is willing to put users first, even if that means earning a little less. But as Linux software compatibility improves, especially for games, more users will migrate if things keep going. But it will be a long time until Windows is dethroned. So, to all the Windows users out there, what's your take on this? Do you feel that Microsoft has pushed too far? For me, I sweared by Windows for the longest time, but I begrudgingly made the move to macOS when the M2 generation came out. And frankly, besides some strange UI decisions, it's been pretty smooth sailing, and it's worth not feeling like you're being spied on or having ads in your software. And it's clear that I'm not the only one.
There's an update for our switching to Apple Video. Oh. For one thing, this is still in my backpack.
Still?
Still. But
okay,
even
I've
more,
switched by now. Wait, what about second MacBook Pro?
I bought this with my own money. I have not purchased a laptop in like 8 years. I opened this piece of crap up, this Windows garbage. The driver update literally failed, bricked it. It took me like 2 hours to get it. And I was just like, F this, and ordered a MacBook.
I can't think of many people on staff who in the past were more adamantly anti-Mac than this man.
So that is the crisis in Windows. How it went from a beloved operating system to an absolute dumpster fire littered with ads and AI slop, and the reasons as to why Microsoft drove it in that direction. Anyway, that's about it from me. My name is Dagogo, and you've been watching Cold Fusion, and I'll catch you again soon for the next episode. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
What can I do for you? Be
You
careful.
need something? Light bless you.
Light be with you. Light bless you. For the Alliance. Be careful.
That spell isn't ready yet. We need to get closer. I can't cast that